pono Hawai'i Ua mau ke o ka aina I ka pono By the Ha, the breath of heaven, rains are summoned and waves take form. Winds scatter seeds across the land. By sky's currents, fires are fed and spread. Without the unseen breath of heaven, this would not be Hawaii. A breathtaking vision of water, earth, and fire.
We're good. And we're out, Tyler.
Thank you.
Two. Go 9.
Aloha and welcome to our pre-show for the 3rd annual Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Cultural Festival. My name is Noni Slade.
And my name is Victoria Mikaele. We are coming to you live from the beautiful Kailua Kona, Hawaii, and we are so excited to journey with you through this 3-day festival.
That's right. 3 years ago, we began this journey at the King Kamehameha Kona Beach Hotel to celebrate Hawaii Island and its beauty as a cultural melting pot.
Over the last few years, our Hawai'i Kuauli stage has been graced by Samoa, Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Aotearoa, Tahiti, Fiji, and the Marquesas Islands.
We will be forever grateful for the beauty that each of these nations have brought to our stage.
Before we jump into the many amazing festivities we have, we want to take a moment to recognize and pay respect to the many lives that were lost 19 years ago today.
September 11th will be a day that lives on in America's history forever. Many of us can remember that very day and time when we found out that America we knew was forever changed by this tragic day.
For that, we want to take a moment of silence to remember those who lost their lives innocently and to the brave first responders who many of them sacrificed their own lives to save others.
May we never forget and may we never take for granted the precious life that we have been given to live. Please join us as we take a moment of silence.
We aren't able to celebrate in person, but we won't let that stop us from showcasing the beauty of our Pacific and Asian cultures.
That's right. Get ready to experience a virtual festival like never before. We have cultural expressions, a fashion show, food events, a virtual marketplace, and so much more.
Right now, we want you all to shout out where you are tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to check out our virtual marketplace on our website, hiikuauli.com, which features various arts and crafts vendors from around Hawaii Island. So head over there now to check out some unique items.
Throughout the 3 days, we'll be doing a lot of giveaways. So be sure to tune in every single day. The prizes will consist of clothing, jewelry, hotel stays, and more. We'll be doing our first giveaway shortly, so stay tuned.
We also want to highlight our 2 social media contests, Celebrate Hawai'i Kuauli and Leikaua Ailau 2021, that ends tonight. So head over to Facebook and Instagram to check out the rules.
You don't want to miss out on those giveaways. The prizes are amazing. We have a 2-night hotel stay, festival merch, a fire knife competitors kit, and so much more.
Well, we want to shout out some of you right now. So if you are on live watching with us, let us know where you're watching from.
Wow, we got a lot of people.
Torrance, California.
Hey, Torrance, California. Shout out California.
Of course, Hawaii.
My eye's not good yet. I gotta look at this because then look and see.
There's so much more of you. We see a lot of you. So keep letting us know where you're tuning in from. We will shout you all out.
Well, right now, we are privileged to have some festival board members with us to talk stories as we prepare to begin our 3rd annual festival.
With us, we have Ross Birch, who is the Executive Director of the Island of Hawaii Visitors Bureau.
Taimane Kaupua, who is the Managing Director of Island Breeze Productions.
And Becky Fernandez, who is the Executive Director of Marketing for Island Breeze Productions.
All are board members for the Hawaii Island Pacific and Asia Cultural Celebrations, a 501c3 and the umbrella organization for the festival.
We are so honored to have them here with us. Aloha, everyone. How are you doing today?
Oh, you're excited?
Yes.
Yeah, a little nervous?
We're excited too.
Well, let's get started with our interview.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for being with us and being a part of this festival. It wouldn't have been possible without the 3 of you, so thank you.
All right. Well, Ross, we'll just ask you our first question. Why are festivals like this, Hawai'i Kuauli, important for Hawaii?
Well, in many ways. I mean, festivals have been part of Hawaii's history for a long time. And those festivals have gone on for decades. And you always have to keep things fresh. And it's always nice to embrace different cultures and bring things into the island and take the culture we have that lives here and get to where it was originated from. And always keep things fresh and present.
Yeah.
Keep it going and always exciting.
That's awesome. Now, since we're speaking about cultures, Taimane, why Pacific and Asia and not Hawaiian or Polynesian festival?
Well, we were just talking about that before we started, and really Hawaii is made up of just so many different cultures. It's like a cosmopolitan place.
Yep.
And we wanted to represent the beauty of all these different cultures and the richness and diversity of all these cultures that we hold right here in Hawaii. And so to be able to just highlight Hawaii would not really truly represent what Hawaii is about. Hawaii is the aloha state, and we're known for embracing so many different diverse people groups.
I love that. So
Totally. Yeah, that's awesome. So Becky, like we've been mentioning, this is our 3rd annual festival. And so what has changed or developed through these 3 years?
Well, I think Taimane said when we were first talking, as we got together here today, we were thinking back to sitting at a coffee shop and Ross just telling us, okay, go for it. We had traveled together, and so we were just going for it. And over the 3 years, we've been able to receive support from Hawaii Tourism Authority, the County of Hawaii, and we've grown the festival to include events like Taste of Pacific and Asia, a culinary event. And then I think most important is our heart for giving a platform to young artists. There's artists that have launched their clothing line at the festival or started their own business.
Yeah.
So that's really, really exciting.
Yeah. I think that's great because, I mean, we have so many events to highlight, but being able to do it virtually takes it up a whole nother notch, and we can definitely have a wider audience. With that being said, this year is festival. This festival is virtual. Do you see any more events becoming virtual in the future?
I think in our day and age right now, and for the near future, virtual is going to be what events are going to be.
Yeah.
We need to keep distance. We need to keep conscious of what's going on, and we need to keep things going as well. You know, if to skip a year would have created a gap, and then you would have rethought things, and so you got to keep that momentum going, and the momentum built with this festival is amazing.
Yeah.
And everything that's been built up needed to continue, even if it's virtual or not. It needed to happen.
Yep.
Regardless.
So great.
Yeah. And so Taimane, what was the inspiration for creating this festival? I know that you've talked a bit about it, but if you could expound a little more on what that inspiration was. Why do we do this festival?
Well, it started with just looking at the Hilo side and realizing there's really a lot of significant events that take place on the Hilo side. And we were talking about Kona needs some significant events on this side. And we have, many of us have attended the Pacifica in New Zealand, and they have over, would you say 210 to 300,000 people that come through their festival. And we thought, we want to do something like that.
Yeah.
That people would come here, tourists would come here and plan their trip around attending Hawai'i Kuauli Festival.
Yep.
And so a bunch of us, Ross, Island Breeze, we went and checked Pacifica out. And I think it was after that Ross said, go for it. Those seem to be Ross's words, go for it.
Words of encouragement.
He encourages you and you go for it. And we're so excited because it's been 3 years and we realized, just as Ross said, that it's important to keep it going. And so I'm excited about this virtual event because there may be a different way next year that we combine live and virtual together. So it really, you make do with what you have, but sometimes great things come out of that.
That's so great. I think I've been a part and I've attended the past 2 festivals. So I'm really excited to see how we're going to take it up a notch this year by going virtual. And I'm really excited. Becky, with that being said, I think we can all say we're really excited for this festival.
Yes.
What are you most excited about seeing during this festival?
Well, in the past years, we've had a keiki hula competition. And this year, we've turned it into more of a celebration with the halau. And they've been able to share their hula from just such amazing places throughout the island. So our international audience aren't just watching hula on a stage, but they're going to watch it from Honaunau all the way to Pololu Valley. And as the hula is supposed to be telling the stories of the Kamehameha dynasty, they're at the actual places where these events happened, which is really, really going to be special.
Awesome. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So the festival, we're just moments away from it. So we're going to let you all go so you guys can get settled in and then you can enjoy the opening ceremony.
Mahalo.
Thank you so much for being here.
Vision. The University of the Nations campus reflects just that. As a movement, YWAM champions all cultures, all ages, and all backgrounds. With 4 major ministry centers, more than 10 classrooms and dormitory buildings, and a solar-powered 3,000-person capacity cafeteria, this is a place where the nations gather to go. This year, we are so fortunate in partnering with YWAM Kona for our 3rd annual Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Cultural Festival. The vision of this festival is to build a community that promotes honor, respect, and unity through cultural principles, helping to restore and bring understanding to the entire ohana of their cultural identity and indigenous cultural practice. The goal of this festival is to embrace, enhance, and steward the cultural heritage of the Pacific and Asia, protecting and perpetuating each culture's language and providing an experience where indigenous methods of learning and education. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present to you the Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Cultural Festival.
All right, before we head over to the main stage, we want to do our first giveaway. We are going to be giving away 2 beautiful earrings from Naizo Natural Precision and a Wahine Toa Designs pareo. In order to win this prize, all you have to do is be the first person to comment the answer to this question. So everyone, be ready, fingers ready on your keyboard. Answer this question and you can win these earrings.
Yes. All right. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. What year was the first Hawai'i Kuauli Festival?
Ooh.
All right. What year was the first Hawai'i Kuauli Festival?
We have our staff checking the comments,
making sure we know.
They'll see the first person.
First.
So what year was the first Hawai'i Kuauli Festival? You can win these beautiful earrings by Naizo Natural Precision, as well as a beautiful Wahine Toa pareo.
Let's see, who's the first? We got anybody?
We're waiting for our staff to let us know
Yeah.
who is going to win these beautiful. And
I
these
see
items,
a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah, these items can be found on our virtual marketplace, hiquauli.com. All of our vendors on there, they're all local vendors. So support your local community.
All right. Looks like we have
We
a
have
winner.
a winner. All right. Congratulations to Maria Bremner. I hope I said your name right. Maria Bremner. Congratulations. Please DM us or email info@hiquauli.com to claim your prize. And mahalo to Naizo Natural Precision and Wahine Toa Designs for sponsoring this prize. Head over to our website to view more of their items in our marketplace.
That is such a good prize. Well,
Yes.
we're just moments away. We've been waiting for here. So we're going to send you over to our main stage where the opening ceremony for the 3rd annual Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Cultural Festival is about to begin.
Enjoy.
Aloha mai kākou. Welcome to the 3rd annual Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Cultural Festival. And we're coming at you live from right here in Kailua Kona on the big island of Hawaii. And we're surrounded by the campus known as the University of the Nations. And we are here to welcome you. My name's Kealoha, and I'm going to do my best to navigate you through the opening ceremonies, which consist of various groups that represent nations spread across Pacific and Asia region, and they'll be sharing their welcome protocols with every single one of you. And as is indigenous, as we do in all cultural settings, we always begin with the host culture. And that happens to be the Hawaiian people. Kumuna Mahana has gathered an excellent group of ho'opa'a and hula dancers, and many of whom are kumu in their own rights. And they're going to be opening up this entire presentation. Event is really an opening prayer from the very beginning to its very end. And in fact, I do have a very special welcome that we'd like to share with you. And this comes to us directly from Kumuna Mahana herself. And she wants to let you all know. Velina me ke aloha e na maka o ka hundua. Mai Hawai'i Kuauli, mai ai ke aina, palena ole o ke au. Welcome to the Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Cultural Festival 2020. As is our tradition, we extend our aloha to the world with a cultural ceremony by the Hawaii Ohana to celebrate life as a lei of family. So would you please welcome our Ohana from Hawaii.
ai ka laine ka omilo ka aina. Hala waina o makani po haina mauna na awawa na kula na ulula aweiwei. Na ene o ka ikai. Ho e ka lewa la niala na na o hali i ka pa. Na la ni ke hau. Ka ua ho'olu, ho'a mahua na wai, mala mai ke ola. Pele au inala hele hoku i ka ipuka o ka lala ni ka piko ke auli a i ke kumukai. Kili wehi kona ka hea. Aloha na kini o ke kulua moi. E mai te atua manaloa Pane mai e ualo e ka hea e te atua manaloa e hai mai e ho i ke mai e ho e te atua manaloa e ho Manaloa e como mai ai mai ho mai gani koma koi loko kalani e ho anaria koinoa e ki mai ko aupuni e mala mai ko make mako unei e ki mea I malama I a makalahila e hahi mai a mako I ke iala I aina mako no nei ala e kala mai hoi a mako I ka mako lawe halana me mako e kala nei ka poe lawe hala I ka mako mai hoku oi a mako I ka ho wale wale I a mai e ho pākele nona e a mako I kai. No ka mea, no ke au puni, a me ka mana, a me ka hona ni a maulo aku. Amen. Ina o ke ola, I ka mai ka hele, ina le o ka huli. Na e kamarani mai na huluku na mai na makoka na hulu manu vana kaleo olu kaleo lo kaibu Kai puana ka leo. Ka leo puana ka olelo. Ka olelo puana ke ola. Hana e ka malama apuka. Hana e ke ahoroko apuka. Hana e ka honua apuka. Hana e ke auli apuka. Hana e ka wai a ola. Hana e ka moana a ola. Hana e ka aina a ola. Ola ka ha apuka. Ola ka leo apuka. Ola ka olelo apuka. Puka ka malama o ka lani. Puka ka la. Puka ka mahina. Puka na hoku o ka lani. Puka na mea ulu a ola. Puka na mea ola a ola. Puka na kanaka a ola. Puka ke aloha a ola. Ola ka aina, ola ke kai, ola ka lewalani. Ola! Hawai'i Kuauli kai gawau kanaka gawau maukele kawau akua. Te tuahiwi a te tualono, ka mauna ka pu'u ke awawa, ka wailele ki ka Hawai'i ka muliwai. Huli na mea ulu na kumula au na ulu la au ka lau na hele, na mea kanua me na la au apau. E ho inana, e ho olu, e ho ola. Ola! E ho govuno de adua manalo ye. E ho e ho ole e ho ala e ho govuno na magaga onua no na maga o ke ola no na maga o Hawai'i ne no Hawai'i Kuauli e aloha ku e aloha mai e aloha mai e aloha ku e aloha e atua manaloa no e te atua manaloa na mea ulu ulu na mea ola ola ka olelo. Olona. Olalo. Oloko. Oya ka ohana, oya ka pelina, oya ka maalama ana. Oya ka leo nā tūpuna. Oya ka leo ki aloha. Oya ka leo ki ola. Oya e. Oya la. Oya no. Wha?
Ai, ike o ke kulua moi.
Ike o ke kulua moi. Karani nui akea. Kabiho kalewalani. E ala na hoku oluna. O akana tukaloha. Ike o ka wai o ki o. Ho la ka moina o ka onu. Wa o la ke ka ba ku au. Vili amena ho o kupualo. Vili ya ka leo na tubuna. Lo ya kona leo. O walo ya namaga o ga honu. Namaga o ge o. Namaga o Hawaii. Iaga o ke aloha e o kupu aloha. Ike ala lolo. Abono abonaga koe. Malo e kaleo ki aloha te atu. Kaleo ki aloha. Aloha ka ohana i lei. Aloha na kane me na wahine. Aloha na makua me na keiki. Aloha na kupuna. Oluna. Olalo. I o aonei. Aloha de atua me mako. Mahalo ka leo ki aloha te atua. Aloha.
Mahalo kumuna mahana ma. Everything from beginning to end was punctuated with huge significance, especially knowing that every person on that stage, without exception, had to prepare for this day by digging deep within their own spirits and souls to ensure that they're prepared to present themselves as living prayers to all of us and for the entire festival. And for this, we are so grateful to every single one of them. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Mahalo. The next group that we'd like to present to you comes to us from Aotearoa, New Zealand. It is there where you'll find this very special group of young people. They come to us from Nu'ulua Performing Arts Academy. They're in Auckland, but more specifically, they're in this little suburb known as Kelston. And the Kelston Intermediate School is where you'll find Josefa Mikaele and his sister, Heta, who have joined forces to prepare these young ones to be immersed in their own culture, which is a Samoan culture. But the beauty of Aotearoa, New Zealand, is this very simple fact that they have the largest gathering of Polynesian peoples in that one nation. And so it's evident by the fact that Pacifica, which is held every year, garners over 200,000 people coming to visit all of these different locations where you'll find every single island group throughout the Pacific Ocean. And it is wonderful, although this year, because of the COVID, they had to shut down Pacifica, but we get to be embraced by the people of Samoa from the islands of Aotearoa, New Zealand. So would you please welcome our ainga, our ohana from the islands of Samoa.
Nu'ulua means two islands. O le lauiloa lau nu'ulua. Ona o le motu o whaingatā ona no foia. Pē a sia fo. Awa a ele loa whai tau malu lumo le motu. Ona whātia lea pē sa e lo waa. Ai a whaila e sa e lo waa. Ia aua lava ne I e tū longa le maa tonu lea e sa e ai lo waa. Awa e tisolia lo le maa. Ona sou loa lea o le sami ma e malemo ai loa. O se motu e ola le le iai la au aina. O se motu e maa naila lo na matawhanga. O se motu e maa lulo na ea. E lea ai fo ise so na awhea tu iai. Awa e whainatā o na awhea. Located in the Alepata region, situated more than 1.3 kilometers from the eastern end of Upolu in Samoa, alongside its other brotherly islands Nu'utele, Namua, and Vanuatu. Nu'ulua, an isolated island, but very quiet and cool and calm. You can survive for many days if you decided to stay. So, the story has already been told. Usila mai moa malau sila se galo atu tama ma tene whanau mai nu'ulua. Ta sa vali vali se ia tanga iwa I whanua lasi solo o matani.
Omi te tonu la wolu au baile pepe se ima ima afi fi malu ta baile la une ima tala tala bela kwaiva pito te tonu baile ma sai ba be se pomo vela mai lo la tama se fa ala te se na ya mama Safia ai ise pano sami se Safia ai ise pano sami kalela ba ai te ai papa langi na ole mawai ile tino mai Safia ai ise pano sami se Safia ai ise pano sami what a few if I tali tali se pano sami se mai lelani o ulo pelo au pipi e pule lava o in the sky luau ma mo e file mu o po sen se usinge e o piu ele ai se ma sa usalo le pano sami lava ina ile kalo o se ki o le mea ato ka angulu fo I male Samoa Safia ai I se pano sami se Safia ai I se pano sami tale lava ai mea ai papalangi na ole mawai ile tino mai
Come on, suck it in, suck it in. Let's go, boys. Heads up, boys. Heads up, chins up. Especially you, Kavika, your snot's coming down. Come on, boys.
Lose control. No way I'm gonna play this riddle.
Party with my friends, Mr. Lava Lava. Let's get right cool, make the power lava. Call me Prince Mana, Mr. Lava Lava. Lava Lava, Lava Lava. Party with my friends, Mr. Lava Lava. Let's get right cool, make the power lava. Call me Prince Mana, Mr. Lava Lava. Lava Lava, Lava Lava. Party with my friends.
Welcome, Sefa. We're so happy to have you with us today. Please introduce yourself.
I am Josefa Mikaele, and I am from Nulua Performing Arts Academy.
Awesome, awesome. And for those who may not know, you are also Victoria's husband.
This is my husband, everybody.
I am her husband, and she is my wife.
Right on, right on. Well, let's get right into it. How many students do you have total in your group?
So the most numbers we had was 30 students. That was before the whole pandemic thing. So we had 30 to 31 students, but in the performance that we recorded, we had about, I think, 15 students performing on video. So it was, yeah, it hit us pretty good, the pandemic, when it came to our numbers, but we had to make do what we had. But when we had the 31 students, it was awesome.
In New Zealand, is Samoan culture a big deal there?
Big, very big, a bit too big sometimes. It is, we have a week that the government has put aside just for Samoan language, not only to celebrate the language but to celebrate the culture. And that's it's in the end of May, going towards Independence Day for Samoa in June 1st. And in that week, it's just all about the Samoan language. Every school do performances. Even in Polyfest, one of the festivals that we have, school competitions, the Samoan stage is it's a stage to go to. So it is quite big. And when you say South Auckland, you're talking pretty much Samoa as well.
I know you mentioned the Polyfest. So do you guys enter those festivals, or are there any other festivals that you enter up in New Zealand?
Because our academy just started last year, we had the opportunity to perform at Pacifica Festival this year. But, you know, with the pandemic and everything was cancelled. So, but we did do little shows leading to Pacifica Festivals, which is, it's sort of like libraries will put together these shows just to amp up the festival. So we got the opportunity to do that. And we were excited to go to Pacifica Festival because it was our first big festival that we're going to perform at. But, you know, things change, plans change, and Rona came.
The performance was amazing, and we really enjoyed it. It was so fun. Your group, well, you came last year, not with this group, but your school that you work with, and they were a huge highlight of the festival. So we were really looking forward to having you bring a group over again this year, but everything happened. But still, you were able to be part of the festival, and this performance was awesome. So we just wanted to know, what does this performance mean?
So this performance is, we've done 4 numbers. We've done the Sa-Sa. The girls have done the Siva as well as the boys. Obviously the Sa-Sa is the upbeat dance. You have to do it while sitting down, and mostly requires your upper body. So the Sa-Sa just explains different things that we do in our culture, whether it's cooking or tattooing. So when you watch it, you'll see different things that we're doing. And then the girls dance, the Siva, it's a more graceful dance. My dad would always tell me that the girls showcase our graceful side in our culture. So that, you know, the girls did that. And then obviously the boys bringing the warrior spirit and the funny side. You know, there's always a funny side to any culture. And I've sort of put that on the boys to showcase how funny we are and how funny looking we are.
And they do a good job at that.
You wouldn't know, wife. You wouldn't know.
I do it.
I think that's my favorite part about the Samoan culture, is it's so lively, full of fun, energetic, you know, motions and just personalities on stage. So many personalities, so much fun personalities. So that's one of the biggest things that I really appreciate about the Samoan culture, and that's definitely something that you execute very well in all your performances and everything that you do. So super awesome. I think we're just about wrapping it up here, but we just want to know, will you guys be joining us next year?
And we would. I want to. Firstly, I have to join my wife first. Yes, you do. I really, it's been a while.
Well, Sefa, we are so thankful that you and your group were still able to be a part of this festival, and you really set the tone for the Samoan culture. So we just really want to thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you.
First, Taylor, thank you, Noni and wife, for this time, and it was a pleasure. It was an honor. Malo.
All right, man. Stay safe. See you soon.
Hui ho.
Mahalo once again to Nu'ulua. We so appreciate them. Last year when they came as Kelston Intermediate, they just flooded the stage with action and activity and just were so alive. And it was no different today. So we're so grateful to experience them once again in this year. Now we also have another group that I'm about to introduce that also debuted last year, was their first year coming to Hawai'i Kuauli. And they're back again this year. And of course, it's not a Pacific Island region, but it is an Asian nation. It is the nation of Korea, and it's actually represented by Morning Star Korean Cultural Center. Now, they started back in 1985, and if I have it correctly, the mother started it, and now she's passed it on to her daughter, who you're going to meet in an interview. And so she's carrying on the tradition of what the heart of Morning Star is all about, and that is to teach Korean culture, heritage, and dances to anybody who's interested in learning. And they've done so well that they've gained prominence not just regionally, but nationally and even internationally. And they're actually the finest Korean cultural center in the United States. And so we are privileged that they've come back again to share their love of culture and really their love for Hawaii as well, which is why they keep coming back. And so we are so grateful to welcome them. Would you please welcome our ohana from Korea?
안녕하세요. 우리는 시애틀에 있는 새별예술단입니다. 대한민국의 문화로 하나님을 찬양하러 왔습니다.
안녕하세요. My name is Sinead Che. I'm the artistic director at Morningstar Korean Cultural Center. Now, artistic director is just a fancy word for teacher, choreographer, and everything in between. At Morningstar has been around for 35 years, since 1985. We traveled around the world. We've performed extensively locally, and we've even been to Hawaii a couple times.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. So you said you guys have been around since 1985. Is this a production or a school that's passed down to you?
Pretty much. My mom is the founder of Morningstar, and I can say that if she didn't have the next generation, not just because I'm her daughter, but if she didn't have a vision for the next generation, I doubt that she could have worked as hard as she did.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so awesome.
I think that's such a testimony to the success of your school, of your mom's school, and everything that she's done to pass down to you. And for you to be around for so long, that's such a testimony of the great things that your school is doing. So thank you so much for being with us.
And so we were privileged to have your group here last year at our festival live. And there's nothing like watching you all perform live, because there's just so much passion in what you do, and you really, I always get chicken skin when I watch you guys dance. It's just so inspiring. And unfortunately, we couldn't have you live this year, but of course, virtually, you guys sent in such a beautiful, gorgeous performance.
So beautiful.
And so we just want to hear from you what this performance means.
As you mentioned, nothing beats a live performance, right? And for us as well, nothing beats a live audience who are truly engaged. And, you know, the energy of the festival and, you know, not only the audience, but the people working behind the scenes is such an encouragement to us. And that really helps our performance. But this time, unfortunately, I mean, we're glad that we were able to contribute virtually as well, but even from afar, we were able to do a few pieces that we wanted to share with you. The first piece is a variation of our fan dance. The fans represent sails, and so we were pretty much doing a dance with sails coming through a treacherous storm and arriving safely at shore. The second piece was with little kids, where they represent small underwater creatures. You know, they're kind of floating around. The next couple percussion pieces represented the sounds of creation, and the last piece is just the traditional celebration.
Wow. I mean, the fans is one of my favorite parts of the Korean performances. So, I mean, it's just such a beautiful images. The lines are gorgeous. So, I mean, it's one of my favorite things to experience. With that being said, what is like the history of Korean dance?
Korean culture, the Korean history extends thousands of years, and Korean dance and music has been performed in the royal courts to the villages by common people. It was just an expression of life. But, you know, with colonialism, Korean culture was severely oppressed, even like an attempt to annihilate it. But, you know, we speak to the resiliency of the Korean people. However, up until 20 to 30 years ago, there was still an inferiority or a sense of inferiority when it came to Korean culture. And only recently has there become more or have we instilled a sense of pride and, you know, interest in our own culture. But our work here is to remain relevant, not to just stay a part of the past, but, you know, keep on evolving so that we can stay relevant.
Awesome. That's so beautiful. I love that there's so much history and depth to the Korean culture. And I was thinking if there was some kind of greeting you could teach us to say in Korean.
Wait, maybe how about this? I go to a lot of Korean restaurants. Like, what is this something to say? Like, oh, this is so good.
너무 is so. 너무, you know, with any language, 너무 is actually too much. Yeah. And 맛있어 is delicious. 맛있어. And in Korean, we have something called honorifics, where when you're talking to somebody you don't know or an elder, you add that honorific at the end. So you would say 맛있어요.
맛있어요. 너무 맛있어요.
Exactly.
Well, let's try it together. 너무 맛있어요.
Well, we're so thankful to have you again. Thanks, Shanae. Thank you to your group. Please give our best to your group, and please stay safe. And we look forward to having you guys with us next year.
Thank you so much. Mahalo to you.
Aloha.
Seriously, who knew the breadth and the depth of the diversity of Korean cultural dances and music and even acrobatics? That's something that Morning Star has championed from last year, and they did a sterling job even this year. So mahalo, thank you to our Morning Star Korean Cultural Center family. The next group that we'd like to present to you comes again from Aotearoa, New Zealand. And of course, New Zealand is such a beautiful spot in the Pacific Ocean that who wouldn't want to have more than one group coming from that place? And what we've got prepared is a Maori welcome that will be presented to you by Ray Totorewa. Ray Totorewa is the National Director for Youth with a Mission there in New Zealand. And he and his wife, Shanine, and their two daughters are immersed in Māori culture and even in kapahaka, which is Māori dances. I mean, every opportunity they have, they're involved in that. So we're going to be greeted in the true Māori tradition by Ray Totorewa. And accompanying him will be scenery from the group that actually came here to Hawaii at the last Hawai'i Kuauli Festival, and that is Te Wharekura o Mauao. This is the name of the group, and so we are so privileged and honored to be welcomed by Ray Totorewa and the group. So would you please welcome our ohana, our whānau from Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Yo nui ora yo te paurawa tike yo te toyonga rangi. Yo matua nui te rangi, yo matua nui te henua, yo mataho, yo matangaro, yo matawai, kororia ki tōna ingoa tapu. Tēnei te mihi aturikia, ia moana mana ki tanga ki rungi a tātou katoa, noho nei rungi te mata o te whenua. Ko iara te kaihango ngā mea katoa. Ko kōpu kai roa te maunga atu mai rā, ko waitao te awa e rere ana. Rere ana te au ki te tāhuna o rangataua, whiti atura ki awa nui papa ki tūana ngā tai ki mau wao. Rere tonu rā te au ki te moana nui atoi te huatahi. Wai kare kare ana te wai i ngunguru nei. E ripo ripo ana te wai ki Hawaii ki nui ki Hawaii ki roa ki Hawaii ki pā mā mao tū te rehu tai ki ahu e nā. Ka tau rā ki te tāhuna o kamakahonu. Ka tau ki utara. Tēnei te mihi mai oha ki au koutou katoa tahau kāinga. Te iwi take take, kanaka Māori tēnā koutou. Koutou e noho ana nei rā i roti e tō koutou moku. Ko te moku puno ke ave. Ke ave i ke kaiali o ka moku. Tuohu ana rā i mua tō koutou maunga e tuatu rā. Ko kōhala ko kilo e ko mauna kea ko mauna lani. Wā, ko hualalai. Nei te mihi aroha ki au koutou katoa mai Aotearoa ki Hawaii. Nā reira tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou. Hurina ki te moana nui aki wā. Wā, tēnā tātou katoa.
Tēnā kini tanga! Mōta tau! Kini tāwhiau! E tumuaki! Wei e mau kami hana!
They really are a powerhouse live. So, but if there's anything that this COVID time is teaching us, it's the fact of not what we're missing so much, but of what we have. Of making sure that we stay connected with each other as family. They'll tell us to stay at home. They'll tell us to isolate. But really, it's about connections. That's what Kumbuna Mahana and the group displayed in their pule, in their prayer. It's about us staying connected with ourselves, with our ohana, with our community, from nation to nation. And every nation that you saw displayed today in our virtual festival is it makes us realize how much we need and how much we love each other. And that's why it's fitting that this next group that we introduce to you is a family in and of themselves. They are the Tonga sisters. The matriarch Sia Tonga will be sharing with you. But of course, they need very little introduction because everybody knows them. Whether you follow them on Facebook or Instagram, they have thousands of followers. Whether you saw them on America's most notable musical families, or even on the Ellen Show, they've been prominent and out there. But at the very heart and core of who they are, their name says they're the Tonga sisters. So the nation that they love, the nation that they represent everywhere they go, is the nation of Tonga. So would you please join me in welcoming our ohana from Tonga.
Tapu mo whanua hau o ka pakauai ai I kare. O ne uri mo tafoe me whakahahake. Tapu mo kere tupua o ka meha meha. Whakatapu atu ki haatau I whanua. Haata ki loto. O kaunga mamahi I whanua kotoa pē. Talangata ia te au whai ki tua mamao atu. Ai whakaata ange mua ai ki whin motua tu ani. E tukpe mua ke uvulangi ki e talalo au. O ku mau haka I he lang kua tau. Kua whainga maari e ke whawhawhonga I atua Tonga. Io, koe ki fo I piri o te pe ia. Koe ki whanua o kutu I o seni. Ka koe whanua tupu anga ia. Oe. Whewhine u whahoha atu, kai pehe ki e whanā wohi, me koe whangapiki lau. O ki ai ofa, o e amanaki, ke maukau I ano pao tolo aki, ai ulunganga, tuku whakaholo o Tonga. Pea mo ngahi tala whakawhanua, o ki whanua tupu anga, tau ofa ai. Whiawhia ke kau whakataha mo I kāinga, o I Pasifiki, e kau te whito ki Hawai'i ini, I he kātoanga Hawai'i Kuauli Pacific and Asia Festival. Ai koe tau hono tolu eni. Pea kono whawhawhonga I o Tonga, mau pehe koe whonga lelei taha, ke mana tui koe otua mo Tonga, ko hokto fia. Pea vahe ai himi koe ni, ka koe himi anga maheni, I loi I Tonga kotoa. Aku iai ha ki I whanua o kutu I o seni. Na e I kai ke mau o tua na e masiva helele. Hallelujah.
thankful to have the Tonga family with us today. And please introduce yourself.
Hello, Lele. My name is Teresia Afeaki Tonga. I actually go by Sia Tonga. And I am a mother of 8 children. My husband, Walter, and I, we actually was born in Hawaii, but raised in Tonga. And speak Tongan as a first language. So I'm raising my children here in Kahuku on the North Shore, and very much involved in community outreach programs that involve specifically teaching Tongan dance.
Well, we just witnessed a beautiful expression of your culture with your performance that we just saw. So could you just share a little bit about what you guys shared with us just now?
Whenever asked to present, if ever in the presence of a crowd or a group, in this case very unique because it's virtual and our reach is far-reaching more than ever before. It's important for a Tongan to begin first with a whakatapu, and that's what we started with. And a whakatapu is basically a very respectful way of addressing the audience that you're going to be singing for or dancing for, and asking for the permission to use that space to have this particular cultural exchange. And then the particular song that we chose, not only a hymn, but is considered to be very patriotic in that it reminds Tongans of our placement in the ocean, and that we should always remember that God has blessed Tonga and given Tonga much to be thankful for, and that we can claim our inheritance if we stand up and work, because faith without works is dead. And so it's an expression of gratitude that Tongans have too, for God's inheritances and all the blessings that we receive as Tongans.
Wow, I just got goosebumps.
Me too.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you
so powerful, so powerful. What is your, do you have any encouragement or words of wisdom to the young Polynesians who are probably watching now or that will be watching this? Any words of advice or encouragement to the young Polynesians?
Just to, I'm hoping that we can teach them as adults. I'm more concerned about those of us who are influencing them, because there's lots of pressures vying for their attention. And if we're engaged in work like what you guys are doing with the festival, we can instill in them a sense of who they are. Otherwise, they're going to find their identity somewhere else. And if we can instill in them and teach them with love, so that we can leave an impression on their hearts of who they truly are. And we have wonderful mediums like music and dance and all those cultural practices and ceremonies that we have to be able to do that. We have a responsibility to be able to help our children know who they are, so that when they go out into the world and to try to find their niche, to live their dreams, they realize that what's really going to propel them forward is knowing who they are first.
It's so inspiring to hear all the words of wisdom that you always have, and just your life experiences. It's incredible and so inspiring, and I know it's going to inspire many people who are watching. With that being said,
so this week is Tongan Language Week in
New Zealand.
Even though we're not in New Zealand, we are still part of the Pacific, and we wanted to see if you could teach us a Tongan phrase.
So I think common things that people would teach are phrases like, greetings and all of that. But I'm actually going to think outside the box and teach you something that I feel is very, I would say, an indication of the way things have been for Tongans in Tonga and away from Tonga. So the phrase is, Mate ma'a Tonga.
Mate ma'a Tonga.
Yes,
I love it.
Mate ma'a Tonga. Now, this phrase would have been widely used during the rugby seasons that we've had over the past couple years. And mate is like make, to die for Tonga. There was this Red Sea, or this wave, this mighty wave of patriotism that swept across the world when a rugby team of Tongan kids that were not only from Tonga, but that were the equivalent to the NFL all over the world. They were getting paid big money to play rugby professionally, and they left those big salaries to come home and represent Tonga. And they went out and they would win games, and people would show up in droves of red, and they would cheer on. They would sing hymns. They would sing that patriotic hymn that you just heard earlier from us. But they basically cheered these kids on. And what was really important is that mate ma'atonga, mate is actually short for the word mateaki'i. And the word mateaki'i actually has nothing to do with death. It has everything to do with the way you live for something.
Come on. Yes,
But
cool.
when you abbreviate mateaki'i to mate, then it becomes death, that you would die for your country.
Wow.
What I love about the phrase is that Tongans, in their patriotism and in their love for Tonga, no matter how far away they live from Tonga, as we live our culture and as we live our faith, we can show that we're willing to not necessarily die for Tonga, but to live for the things that we love and believe in.
Yes.
Come through.
Well, if they don't know, now they know.
Mate ma'atonga. Sia, it's been incredible having your family be a part of this festival for the first year. Thank you so much for being with us. We love you, we love your family, and we're so blessed to have you guys a part of it. Ofa'atu. We'll talk to you soon.
A big mahalo to the Tonga family who really brought it down to why we do Hawai'i Kuauli Festival year after year. You heard it from others as well. It's about instilling a sense of destiny in the hearts of our younger generation. It's about grounding them in loving who they are and where they come from. So that once they're comfortable in who they are and where they come from, then they're able to embrace other nations and other cultures. And it really is about us as the older generation ensuring that these young ones have a place to blossom and grow and expand and move forward. And again, you've heard it from others, from Shanae, from the Morning Star Korean Cultural Center, and others in their native language. They all echoed the very same thing. This is why we do what we do. And we're so grateful that every single one of you have chosen to tune in and be a part of it. And just let all your family and friends know that haven't seen it, that they can go online and check out the replay as well. And I have to let you know that on Sunday, we have this amazing presentation of the Henry O Pukahaia story. And it is a powerful story of beauty, of life and death, redemption and healing, and all that goes into making one successful. And we're talking about way back in the 1700s going into the 1800s. So please tune in on Sunday. In fact, tomorrow tune in as well. We're going to be on live 2:20 on Saturday afternoon. But for right now, I'm going to send it back to Innovation Studios to your hosts, Noni and Victoria.
You're talking about a foreigner imposing a set of rituals.
And he was the one who started the first human sacrifice.
It was during one of those battles that Henry of Pukahaia lost his entire family.
So there's that sting, and then there is the side that you see the redemptive.
Courage. Hawaiians call it na'au. Na'au means your guts.
I mean, that is the legacy of the Hawaiian people.
Aloha is meant for the world.
Many in Hawaii know this story well, of the voyagers, warriors, priests, and royalty of Hawaii. But do we know what's been left out? Are we willing to find out?
Opening ceremony. Shout out to all the cultural groups who joined us from around the world.
I agree. One of my favorite highlights from that was our whanau, our family from Aotearoa in New Zealand. I think it was great that we were able to use footage from our first year, 2 years ago. And I think it was just such a powerful performance that we had to use it again. So thank you to our family from Aotearoa for being with us too.
Definitely. I really enjoyed the Hawaiian protocol. It's just so beautiful to see the people of Hawaii honored. And especially because we're right here in Hawaii, it is important to start the right way and honor the people of this land. So such a beautiful time. We hope you all enjoyed it.
And also,
what?
Tonga. Sia.
Yes.
I heard you holding down that baritone part. So bass, baritone, tenors, I got you. Sounded great.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments what your favorite cultural presentation was from today.
Well, we have a full program prepared for you all tomorrow. So make sure to join us at 12:20 p.m.
Yes.
Hawaii Standard Time as we kick off day 2 with the Taste of Pacific and Asia event.
I cannot wait for that.
Me too.
We also have the Wearable Arts Fashion Show, the Hula Ho'ike, and a sneak peek at the Lekaua Ailau Fire Knife Competition. It is going to be a packed day.
I agree. Well, we will also be announcing our social media giveaway winners tomorrow. So be sure to tune in. And if you haven't already registered or entered our contest, make sure you enter now because the giveaway closes tonight at 11 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And just a reminder, some of the prizes on the line include an incredible Fire Knife Competitors Kit and a hotel stay. Whew, the winner could be you.
Yes, it's very exciting. Our 2 social media giveaways. All right. I really could use that vacation. But you know what, Noni? All this talk about giveaways, I feel like doing a giveaway right now.
That's a good idea.
I know.
So we got this gorgeous charcuterie board. Charcuterie board. Who makes words like these? By Callista Guerpo Art and a Hawai'i Kuauli Festival shirt.
All right, Noni. We'll practice that one. All right. First person to answer this question will win this item. Here we go. You ready? Fingers ready. How many social media giveaways are we doing?
Oh, so that's separate from the giveaways we're doing throughout the festival.
Yes.
How many social media giveaways are we doing?
Yes. So our team is looking right now in the comments. The first person we see will win this charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board.
Right. And this beautiful festival t-shirt, which you can purchase your festival merch on our website, hikuauli.com. Oh, and it looks like we have a winner.
Let's see. The winner is
Joe Rogers.
Joe Rogers.
Rogers. Sorry.
Yes.
You are the winner of this giveaway. Please DM us or email info@hikuauli.com to claim your prize.
Mahalo for joining us this afternoon. We're going to leave you with a preview of one of our designers for the tomorrow's Wearable Arts Fashion Show, like Tahikoa Hawaii Designs.
Have a good evening and see you all tomorrow.
Ahui ho.
Ahui ho.